Sure, thanks a lot. Matthew Lee, Inner City Press, on behalf of the Free UN Coalition for Access. Thanks, as always, for this briefing. I wanted to, you'd mentioned that the 2 degrees Celsius target wouldn't be met with the current INDCs. And I saw that Christiana Figueres had said that, is predicting that the current, I guess the current pledges would bring it to 3 degrees. And there seems to be UK sources saying 2.5. Is that 3 degrees, is that a UN number? What's your number, I guess I would say? And how will that, you know, how do you calculate it if you have the time to explain it? I mean, based on the current INDCs. And I wanted to ask a financing question. It seems to also kind of methodological. For this $100 billion goal by 2020, there seems to be a dispute between developed and developing countries, to simplify it, about what gets counted in and how to, and I wanted to know, does the UN or the Secretariat have any role in sort of giving advice on what should be counted? Do you have any view? And do you think that goal will be met? Thanks.
Sure. So first on the where are we in terms of the INDC's impact on the 2-degree pathway? There is no UN number yet, but there are different entities, including Christiana Figueres' team, are working on different ways to try to understand what will be the impact. And in fact, she will be coming to New York with some thoughts on this, on where we are as of now. It does appear, when I look at the different sources of such analysis, because there are lots of NGOs, lots of think tanks, different organizations that are looking at these numbers, and they all seem to be saying the same thing, that the INDCs, as we seem to receive them now, they will give us about 3 to 3.5 degrees centigrade. That's the initial numbers that we're seeing. Now, of course, we will have to wait until we see all the major ones together, but that does seem to appear to be the number. When you know, we will have to wait until the formal assessment by the UNFC Secretariat, which will happen, I think the publication date of that will be sometime in November, to actually give you a UN number. Secondly, on the 100 billion, there is still work in progress on that, but we can be very pleased to see that the countries that need to provide 100 billion support have been meeting, and they have been discussing on how to what is that? It's on my phone. Okay, sorry. So this is.
It's on the 100 billion.
It's about the 100 billion. It's probably the key, the World Bank. Okay, no, seriously. So there is work in progress, and the countries that are supposed to provide 100 billion, they have come together and they have been working on a methodology of what to include and what not to include as climate finance, and how to include the private component of the 100 billion, because as we recall, the 100 billion is supposed to be a mixed public and private funding. Now, that methodology is still under development. It will be made available early in October. And what the Secretary General has been doing has been working with all the key actors, leaders, world leaders, and so on, to make sure that that methodology is politically credible. And that's where we are right now.
All right, last question.